I have 24 hours to explore one of the largest Silk Road hubs, founded a few thousand years ago, and find out what Genghis Khan liked so much here that he didn't destroy the city completely. Uzbekistan, the country of madrasas and Chevrolet. Good morning from Samarkand railway station. I'm going to Bukhara this time. It's not as early as 6 a.m. but at 9:45 departure, which means day trip is not possible because return train is at 4 p.m. So I need to sleep overnight at Bukhara and get back by 4 p.m. next day, because a couple of hours not enough for Bukhara. I want to stay overnight and explore Bukhara as much as possible within a couple of days. Let's go. Wow, at the daytime railway station looks completely different. So beautiful. Look how light is playing in these windows. It's like very magical vibe here, like in a fairy tale. Very beautiful Soviet era railway station. Here you go, just on time. As I explored the train, its toilets and food last time, today I just wanted to enjoy Uzbekistan's endless deserts and rural life in peace. That was very smooth, 1 hour 15 minutes train ride, and we reached Kogon. It's a small town 20 minutes away from Bukhara. So let's take a taxi and get to Bukhara city center and start exploring this beautiful city, not far away from Turkmenistan border. Yandex taxi is very convenient, just 18,000 sum for 20 minutes ride to Bukhara from Kogon. Not asking those taxi drivers, they charge extremely high, like 50,000 sum at least. So Yandex taxi is perfect. Here you go. The railway here was built in 1888, and Kogon was originally named New Bukhara until 1935 to house railroad workers. But there is not much to explore here, not even kebabs. It was 23 minutes taxi ride to the heart of Bukhara, old town. Let's explore. And obviously need to start our strolling day in Bukhara around Liab-i-Haus. It means around the pool in Tajik language. This area is populated by ethnic Tajiks. This pool is dated from 1620, and it was one of 200 other pools in Bukhara which supplied the city with fresh water. But this pool was actually quite severely infected, and this water wasn't so fresh to consume. So lifespan was around 32 years in 19th century for average Bukharan. Wherever you look at, it's such a beautiful 7th century scene. They can travel back in time. And Bukhara, actually one of the oldest cities in Central Asia, dated back some 2,500 years old, and it was a thriving transit city in a Silk Road. But unfortunately it was destroyed by Genghis Khan in 1220. And Bukhara, known for centuries as Bukhara-i-Sharif, means Bukhara the Noble, or also known as the Dome of Islam. And no surprise, there are fewer hotels here than centuries-old mosques and madrassas, some of which nowadays function in the most unexpected ways. Madrassa. It's very quiet here. This is reserved for restaurant and some shops. In these study rooms, so you can just walk and drink coffee here as well. What's so special and interesting about Bukhara and Uzbekistan itself is that those souvenir shops inside former student accommodation, they are not some imported Chinese dresses or carvings. They actually handmade by locals over here, so you can just buy and support local people and their efforts to promote their places and culture. That's very interesting. But obviously magnets and all those things, t-shirts, they're imported and not handmade, but Still, majority of goods and souvenirs are real, made in Bukhara and Uzbekistan. And don't forget to admire a carving work of an entrance door. This is all original, 17th century, all real. Such a wonderful tile work at each madrasa. I would highly recommend to come and study this in details because this is a masterpiece from 16th century. It reminds me of some old town of any European city where you can just walk, jump into some cafe and sit, drink your coffee and enjoy its vibe, its history. So let's go inside and have some lunch and enjoy the ambience. There are many interesting archive photos of Bukhara in cafes. Very interesting to observe how it looked like before. Not wasting too much time on breakfast, let's jump behind the curtain of the old town. I just walked 50 meters away from the main tourist road from city center, and just normal life of locals with the guest houses and normal buildings out of bricks and mud. Interesting to see how locals live as well, not only the main old town. This is some sort of the off the beaten path of Bukhara. So locals are integrated in old town as well. There are so many Soviet era cars all around Uzbekistan. And the further away you go from the capital, the more and older cars are. This square seems to be brand new or freshly restored. It's not in any travel guide, but what's old is this canal, which supplied these 200 artificial pools for drinking water in a city, as well as Liab house, one I showed before. And this madrasa houses a restaurant. And this seemed to be another pool out of 200 I mentioned. I'm strolling around the city center and I notice how quiet it is. It's very, very quiet. Everywhere in Uzbekistan basically. In the capital, in Samarkand, in Bukhara. Very quiet, no music, no thoughts. People are quiet. So peaceful. And I accidentally stumbled upon Jeweler's Bazaar, which opened in 1570. Just accidentally walking around. Wow. It's like a Chorshu market. But before they used to sell jewelries, here just local clothes. And not many tourists here shopping. But some jewelry still being sold here. A bit of legacy preserved. Each monument has this plaque beside the entrance. It's very easy to understand what is it about. And all the buildings are dated basically 16th, 17th century. Because Genghis Khan came in 1220 and destroyed the entire city, except Column Minaret. So all buildings in Old Town not older than 500-600 years old. I love so much these beautiful turquoise domes in Uzbekistan. And this is the famous Kogon Mosque, which was a main Friday's mosque in Bukhara for centuries. It's built to accommodate 10,000 worshippers, and Kogon means great in Tajik. So this is the Great Mosque, or probably Grand Mosque of Bukhara. And just behind famous Kogon minaret sticking out, this was once the tallest building in the world at 49 meters. In 1220, Genghis Khan destroyed the entire city of Bukhara, and he was so impressed by this Kogon minaret, he left it untouched. So this now is the oldest building in the entire Bukhara. Look how vast this mosque's area is. It's able to accommodate up to 10,000 worshippers, this main Friday mosque. And some parts of it inside are not renovated, so you can see the difference between how it was before and after renovation. Also another time travel opportunity. Those merchants along the wall of the mosque probably here for centuries, for a few centuries since it's been built. That's crazy how stable this region is. And finally, the most stable thing of all time is just around the corner. No wonder Genghis Khan didn't want to destroy it. It's so beautiful. Mosque is 1514. Another madrasa, which is used as a library for children now, is 1535. They all been rebuilt after Genghis Khan invasion, except this beautiful minaret.
Before going to bed, I walked back, explored the nightlife, checked out some other cool minarets, and had dinner with cats. I mean, they were just hanging around. Tomorrow I'm up at sunrise to see more of Bukhara before my afternoon train.
I can literally see Kogon minaret right from my window, right from my bed. Old Bukhara hotel for $50 per night. Amazing hotel with nice breakfast, with nice open backyard inside and perfect location. Very good deal. Wonderful. And I have finally reached the Ark Citadel, the heart of ancient Bukhara, the 2000 years old fortress around which the city was built initially. And what remains today is only 30% of its original size. And the entrance fee is 100,000 soom per person. I think it's too expensive. And I decided to go up the Bukhara Tower just beside, and I can see the bird eye view over the Ark and the old city and the entire Bukhara. Let's go up there. It's much more reasonable and better. And you don't need to fly drone, which are banned here, to have aerial view. You can go up there and explore the city from above. This is actually a former water tower built by Russians in 1917. There's a lift. Entrance fee is 40,000 soom per person. This is the Ark. Definitely worth 40,000 soom. Amazing experience. You can see the Ark from inside, from up here. All the facilities and its massive size from up here, as well as Kogon Mosque, a minaret, and partially Old Town. Very nice attraction. I would highly recommend to visit it. Outside Old Town in Bukhara, there are a lot of nice recreational areas like this Samanid Park with very cute benches and the canal going through, which supplies Bukhara with water, where you can just come and rest, drink your morning coffee. I see Ferry wheel down there. There's some mausoleums as well, and bazaar. Very nice family place. There's some arcade games as well. And even here in the very nice family park, you can bump into 10th century gem. This is Ismail Samani mausoleum, which houses his tomb, and he was the founder of Samanid dynasty that oversaw Bukhara's cultural high point. And turns out this mausoleum also survived Genghis Khan invasion in 13th century, which is quite surprising. It's in very good condition. And another pool in the park, Liab House, which supplied Bukhara with fresh water back then. 1 out of 200 pools in the city. And the western part of the park, they're probably building some artificial lake or something. The main bazaar of Bukhara, the biggest one, is huge. I saw it from water tower, from up there, and its size is impressive. It covers a big area just beside the Samarkand Park. You can find everything here, from fruits to vegetables to clothes and carpets and so on. Everything is here. Basically, this is the heart of the city, not the old town. And I can see out a lot of Soviet era details, like this one, and Central Asian details over there. So this bazaar is very old, probably from Soviet era times. There are many buildings around this area. Previous one with the fruits and vegetables. This is like a species and dry fruits. Thank you. Yeah. They offer to try it before you buy it. And this building also gives you kind of Soviet vibes. It's probably built somewhere in 60s, 70s and preserved very well until now.
Oh, I lost track of time. I need to get back to the hotel ASAP to rent a car. Little did I know, there's also a huge prison at another entrance to Old Town.
There's even a former prison Zindan beside Old Town, where very important prisoners were held, as well as some British before being executed. And it also looks like a fortress from up here. Very fortified structure, but it's just slightly outside Old Town, just in some local neighborhood. And it's actually behind the Ark. Ark is over there, just 200 meters away. The entrance fee is 20,000 sum actually. Oh, look at these doors. Another carved wooden original doors. I see a lot of Jewish Stars of David all around the Old Town. The reason is because Bukhara used to be a huge city with Jewish population of around up to 300,000 people. Current population of Bukhara is 300,000 people. There are still few synagogues left in the southern part of the town, but only few families left to attend them. There are some landmarks outside Bukhara worth to visit. I'm gonna rent a car now and go to these locations before going to Kogon, to the railway station.
$500,000 for a driver to take me outside Bukhara for a couple of hours ain't cheap, but there is no way I can explore it all in a day.
And just 15 minutes drive west from Bukhara is a Chorbak mausoleum where Sayyid Abu Bakr and his three brothers are buried. At the entrance is a 16th century original well with a holy water where you can freely drink it and take it home, and a massive complex without any tourists, and it's said to be the perfect picnic spot, so you can come here and enjoy this peaceful ambience away from relatively bustling Bukhara. You could actually climb this tower in front, but they closed it unfortunately. It will be a nice view of the surrounded suburbans of Bukhara. And another freshwater pond, and typical Madrassa looking entrance gates and turquoise dome. So another typical scene for Uzbekistan. And literally no one here.
Sayyid Abu Bakr, who is buried here, was the first caliph and father-in-law of Prophet Muhammad, the founding father of Islam. Wow!
Oh, original tile work, non-restored, so you can see its original state. And some tombs, probably his relatives. There seem to be some roof, but it's gone, so roof wasn't restored. And those tombs are from 18th century, and beside the ones from 16th century. So they keep building those tombs over time. It's not like one time they build a mausoleum, they keep expanding it. Just like a cemetery. And here are some tombs as well. And there are some new graves dated 2020. So basically this mausoleum is just a massive cemetery since 16th century. They keep burying people over there until now. Just a massive beautiful cemetery. But it's nice. Look at the scenery over there. Like you're in a deserted Madrassa. Very nice colors. There's also some very recent landmark in Bukhara, not that historical, but just 110 years old. This is Emir's Palace, built by Russians in 1911 for the last Emir of Bukhara, Alim Khan, who later fled to Afghanistan in 1920. So he stayed here only for 9 years, and then he took all his gold and jewelry and hidden it somewhere in Afghanistan. It was never found. So this palace is very vast. You need around 1 hour to wander around to explore it. And if you need to explore, to enter every room, you need at least few hours. That's how massive it is, but yet very beautiful.
Shortly after the Emir fled, this palace was converted into a museum, but in the 60s it served as a rest house for the Communist Party of Uzbekistan for a while.
Summer Palace ends with artificial pond and the mosque over there. So basically that's it. And there are a lot of tourists there as compared to Chorbak, we just went 15 minutes prior. A lot of tourists, a lot of overpriced shops, cafes. Good place to escape and stroll around this beautiful summer palace. Built by Russians just 112 years ago. And just beside Emir's summer palace, there are some locals' summer cottages where locals live just beside. Actually, this is the first time I see wooden mosque. There's some bricks foundation, but the rest structure is wooden, completely wooden. Wow, that's how Russians used to build.
Wow, I'm really late for my train, so I quickly took a sneak peek of a 14th century UNESCO World Heritage Complex at 10 minutes drive away and rushed to the train station just in time.
And that's it, 3 p.m. I'm back to Bukhara train station. That was like 27 hours in this beautiful city, very impressive. Okay, back to Samarkand and get good rest. Bye.
My journey in this fairy tale country is coming to an end. I wish I had more time to travel deep west to the Khiva area, but now it's time to discover new countries and regions. See you, Uzbekistan!